Hey everybody, welcome to another fantastic live stream. Fantastic live stream. I am Suzette Speaks, TV host and attorney here in Miami, representing for the folks who want to elevate and educate themselves and hopefully gain some enlightenment in these YouTube streets. I am a brand new YouTuber, kind of not, all right, maybe not brand new, few months in here trying to bring conversations to the space that will hopefully encourage you, as I said, educate you or even entertain you, and hopefully allow you to look at yourselves through a different lens and your situation through a new perspective. And today's conversation is going to be just that. I'm bringing on a guest, and I was laughing with her before we went live here. Y'all drop a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. I was laughing with her that the last and probably my first online interview I had given was 2018 with her on a Facebook Live. 2018. I look back. Good afternoon to my chat. I see you already. RM in the building. Welcome, RM. Good to see you, doll. Before the billions already chiming in. Nice to see you. Salute to the chat. And I see Michonne Denise. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, I had to switch it up a little bit. Y'all know I like to keep it fresh and funky. Yes, I had to switch it up. So yes, if you don't recognize me, it's still me. It's Suzette Speak. One thing about we ladies, particularly ladies of color, we like to switch it up a little bit and keep you guessing, keep you on your toes. And I was in that mood. I told you guys I had went super blonde. And then I looked in the mirror. I was like, I ain't love it. I liked it, but I didn't love it. So I had to go see my girl. Shout out to Cody J. And she hooked me up. So I hope you guys like it. It's very different. You know, I'm getting used to it myself, but I hope you pretty appreciate, women trying new things with the hair and all that. So welcome, Uncle Stu, the old man on the block, already with the super chat. Salute to you. After this, I'm coming right over to Uncle Stu's show. We are going to be having a live conversation at 7 p.m. If you are a part of my YouTube community, I posted the flyer earlier today, so you could click on Uncle Stu, the old man on the block's link, and come on over 7 p.m. We are going to be over on his channel, chatting it up, I'm sure, having a good time. He promised to take it easy. He promised to not go too hard. Praise God. But I trust him, and I know he has been doing a phenomenal job as a content creator himself. So he's one that started right around the same time I believe we started together, and we're both members of the lead attorneys YouTube Elementary. So I'm grateful to have him. You know, we try to help one another, build one another, and I'm grateful that he invited me to come on his platform. So today at 7, y'all go over to Uncle Stu, the old man on the block, and I appreciate you, sir, for supporting the stream and the super chat. Thank y'all. Okay, we're gonna be busy tonight. Yes, Michonne Denise, we are busy. What they say, booked and busy. Starting here with my fabulous guest. I can't believe, like I said, I was telling y'all, she came to my old law office, and she was like one of my first, if not the first guest I had doing in-person Facebook Live. It was like my first Facebook Live, 2018. I look back at the flyer. We were still fabulous, hon. We still fabulous, looking back at that flyer. And it took me on a trip down memory lane. I remember she brought a friend. She brought her daughter. She told me her daughter, who was, I think back then in middle school, is in high school now. I'm like, girl, we getting younger. But praise be to God. It's a beautiful thing. And as I prayed before we started, like that we're both here, that we both have still kind of stayed our paths. We're still doing what we're supposed to do, which is sowing. She's a woman after my own heart into the lives of others. She's a woman after my own heart in terms of helping women particularly, but men here in this space to again, get control of what is controlling them. She's a coach when it comes to fear. We were talking about it as we kind of warmed up last night on the phone. You know, I was like, what are you seeing in your coaching practice? What are you hearing? She was like, the biggest thing that women deal with is fear. People in general almost talk themselves out of their destinies. And she does a lot of coaching in and around that. Now, we're also, for today, and welcome. I see y'all in the chat. Drop a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. Welcome to those watching on Facebook, the Suzette Speaks platform there. And of course, all my folks on YouTube. Thank you for being here. I see you, Urban Lady. Welcome. I see you, Sunbreeze. Welcome. I see you. How you guys doing? Urban Lady says she feeling the hair. Okay, I had to switch it up. Y'all had to go with earth tones to make sure I was looking good. So y'all could get reintroduced to Suzette Speaks. You're welcome. First, when I got up out of the chair, I was like, this is different. I asked for different. So I'm really excited. It pops me in a different way. Hey, and I got a couple of live events I'm going to venture out very carefully. But for my Patreon members, I'm trying to figure out a way that I can kind of show you, since you guys asked for a little bit of behind the scenes, what I can do while I'm at this event, and kind of just show you when I'm out there doing some introductions. Or I think at this honoring women in media Black History Month event, I want to see how I can at least show you if I do a couple introductions of some honorees. My homegirl called me today and was like, hey, would you want to be on the program? I'm like, I'm down. I was kind of keeping it, distant for COVID, but they're doing it at a huge theater. So I was like, okay, that should be pretty safe. So as I do those things, I was like, I need to give my peoples a little bit of a behind the scenes. So I'm going to figure out how to do that and go live on YouTube. I'm kind of excited about that too. That will start for my Patreon probably next Tuesday is the event. So I hope I get command of the live feature on YouTube so y'all can see Patreon members what we do. Hey, Sunbreeze, how you doing? Glad to see you. Glad you're joining today, my love. Hope your day is going well. Wealth engineering, big up yourself. I just got back to you on the email, my brother. Sorry, it took me to this week has been already a little bit hectic, but I apologize for getting back so late. But yeah, let's make this happen, Wealth Engineering. Can't wait to have you on my Patreon. I sent you a few dates today, just a while ago. So hopefully you can get with me, and I can also be on your platform. So big up Wealth Engineering. He's a fabulous content creator when it comes to all things money and getting your coins up, I would say. Also crypto, all kinds of investing. So if you were interested specifically in crypto, go visit his channel. You see it right there. My Canadian brother, Wealth Engineering, big up yourself. Glad to see you. Salute to you, sir. All right, let's see what the comments got to say. Thank you, RM, one of the most fabulous moderators in the business. Thank you for being here, always supporting. Thank you, Merle. I see you. Welcome. If you're watching, drop a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. I happen to be in Miami. I have, like I said, a fabulous guest that we're going to be talking to momentarily when it comes to self-care. She is a mom. I hope you don't mind if I say how many, a mom of four. Praise be to God. Mom of four, wife. Praise be to God. Okay, yes. Mom of four and wife and business owner. Okay, multiple business owner. Okay. And we were talking about what it is that she experiences both as a coach and in her own personal life that can help other people. And we were talking last night about watching from Oregon. Yay, my boy, Mr. Real Estate. Well, go out, Mr. Real Estate. Can't wait to be over on your channel next month. Thank you, sir, for being here. Another newbie to the YouTube space. If you want to learn about how to invest in real estate, go over. No spaces, Mr. Real Estate. Go check him out, please, please, please. Watching from Montreal. Hey, says Wealth Engineering. I'm so happy to see you guys. VA in the building. Uncle Stu, I see you, sir. So yeah, as I was saying, as we were talking about, and again, I am very big on challenges I experience, challenges my guests experience, are usually relatable and oftentimes can highlight what many others too have in their lives. So when we were talking, she said, I got my kids. Oh, praise be to God. Got my husband. Yes. Okay. And businesses. And I am challenged by making sure I take time out for myself. There is a movement, and I think it's become a buzzword, called self-care, and an awareness that, as has been popularized, you cannot pour from an empty cup. But as much as we hear that saying, there are so many of us that are still afraid to spend that time to renew and refresh and kind of get revitalized after we've been giving, after we've given it to the kids, after we've given it to the husband, after we've given it to the job, after we've given it to the business, after we've given it to the side hustle. Come on, somebody. There are times where we get very, very, very low. And I'm talking about our vibration start to wane a little bit. If you were a giver like me, if you were an empath like me, if you care about people, if you care about your job and your business, like I say, and the people that you love in your lives, if you're giving a lot, you oftentimes have to take time to step back and get replenished. So we are going to be talking about that replenishing process, why it is pivotal to success as a whole. Men, women, child, everybody need to refill their cup, right? So if you need that reminder, we're going to do a little bit of a reminder and a how-to today about the self-care that you sometimes sabotage. Am I talking to you? not stepping on toes, that we, okay, no judgment. We sometimes sabotage, right? We want to do more. We want to give more. All right. We want to produce, right? We don't want to let anybody down in the fam, right? At the job, right? If you're in charge of a team, right? Whoever you are, whatever circumstances you have around you, it's important to make sure that self-care is a part of your routine. And we want to explore why sometimes we don't feel worthy of it. Okay, come on, somebody. Come on. Come on. We got to open this door, right? Come and sit down. Come sit down. Come sit down. Because there are parts of us that we allow to literally become depleted, right? And then we mad, right? And then we're acting out of our character, right? And now husband is upset. Now kids are, out of balance because we are out of balance. So the self-care discussion oftentimes gets, kind of wrapped up, I think, incorrectly in making you feel guilty because you need time for yourself. But guess what? If you don't take the time for yourself, your body will remind you. Ha ha. Anybody had a reminder? Oh boy, I hope not a very, very difficult one. But oftentimes, if we stay on this go, 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 please, people, please, people, more people, please, people, and don't take time for yourself, guys, it is bad for business. How about that? Since that's what's most important, and many of us, too many of us, it's good for business. It's good for relationships. Oh boy. It's good for family life. Okay. And it's just good for you as an individual. Right? You deserve time for yourself and you deserve to be replenished, both in your mind and your body, and of course, also your spirit. So if you have not taken time as of late, if you started the new year strong and you are pulling them long hours and you are already pushing yourself to the limit, right? And if you've already increased your productivity and you've set your goals like I have, and you started doing this and started doing that, have you also planned for the self-care? It's super important, y'all. So I'm going to pick her brain. I'm going to use her as a kind of case study. I also want her to talk about, look at Mr. Real Estate coming through. Mr. Real Estate, you already blessed me being my guest. You already blessed me with the most infamous and famous Suzette Speaks stream ever. Go back and watch my interview with Mr. Real Estate. Come on here. Thank you. He's talking about, oh Lord, I'm getting the new Mr. Real Estate put a dub on it. He's taking it. I had to switch it up on y'all. I don't want y'all to think this is just everyday Sue. I have some fire in my belly, y'all, for this. And I'm grateful again to be allowed the space to grow along with you. We all ain't the same all the time. Sometimes we can change how we feel, right? We can evolve. I hope we are evolving. And there's a realization sometimes when you need a little change. I know the ladies know it. You got to change the outside to get the inside sometime to move, to catch up. Yes. So sometimes don't let the external fool you. We pushing ourselves, right? We're allowing ourselves to grow, be different, evolve, right? Because sometimes some kind of, and we'll get into it, my guess. The small things that you can do and put in motion can lead to a bigger change, attitude change, emotional change, start to move you in the direction that you need to move. So I just thought I need to try a little something different. Mr. Real Estate said, keep on preaching. Just waiting for that accent. Y'all, okay, to all my Jamaicans, big up to the first generation people that came, who know how to put a little twang in their thing. Thank you very much, Mr. Real Estate, for showing up, showing out, already hitting me. Hey, the real deal Spencer hit me with this beautiful super chat, and the comment makes my day. It made me smile. Thank you, Mr. Real Estate. Check him out. Like I said, he is an excellent YouTuber. I'll be headed back over his way, probably in February, we said. And I just like talking to him. He has some good insight when he's on other panels as well. But he's now creating his own content. So I'm so proud of you, sir. I see you with the videos, mistakes. I think the last one was like mistakes you learned from and things like that. And there's a lot that we can learn from each other here on YouTube. So I'm so grateful. Big up everybody. If you're watching on Facebook, big up yourself. Drop a comment. Let me know you're watching. If you're watching on YouTube, I see most of you. Thank you for dropping a comment. Michonne Denise says, talk that talk. Listen, I have been in that empty place. I have been on that worn out, sick and tired, and you mad at people and you don't know why you mad. You ever been mad at people and you don't know why you mad, and they're not really the reason you're mad? You're just tired. And usually when I start to feel that little attitude change, I'm like, okay, I might be tired. I mean, I need to stop talking to people. I need to step away. I might do a little staycation. I feel it. I feel when my spirit is kind of like shifting. And sometimes if we don't catch it right away, though, it can lead to more kind of like of a downward that spiral. So catching it early is super important. But mostly I want you to get from this conversation as I bring up my guest, Miss Chanell Fair. We got to prioritize it. That's the thing. We can't wait until we are about to like fall apart, even though again that has happened to me. We're only human. I don't want y'all to feel like that's how we do. Saying hello to Michelle Denise. I see you, Real Deal Spencer. Welcome. Glad you could join. Thank you. I know y'all probably on your way home from work, all of that. Listen in the car, y'all. I'm glad y'all are here. Like I said, I have a fantabulous guest. Had a first interview ever when I first started doing Facebook Live in 2018. I can't believe it, girl. I was looking at the flyer. It came up. You know how when you type in people's names, sometimes, hey, what you say? Hold on, Gaston. Hello. Hey, how you doing? Gaston to my hold on. It's still me, Gaston. We switch up every now and then. It's okay though, right? It's okay. I told, who was it? I think it was Masai on the lead attorney's channel when he went live. I was like, yo, Masai, come check me out, girl. Come check me out. We're doing something new this week. She was like, oh, okay, I'm going to come see you. I hope if Masai, if you're in the chat, come say hello. But big up to everybody watching. We're trying a little something different. Like I said, you guys know I like to bring you good, in-depth, introspective conversations with experts who know what they're talking about. And I'm saying that because this woman has walked the walk. As I introduce her, I remember our first interview back in 2018 in my old office. Girl, she brought her daughter to be the camera woman. I remember she was so precious. And we had a great conversation then. And I was like, yo, this gonna flow. Cause we got that history. We just gonna flow. And we just got a what should I say, a calling at kind of the same heart. We're cut from the same cloth is what I want to say. When she helps women, and she's going to talk about, I don't know if you take male clients too. I don't want to assume that. When it comes to book publishing, she helps you believe. I think her company's called Believe in Your Book. She helps people do that. When I first met her, she was talking about self-confidence. That was her first book. I don't know if I think it was her first book about self-confidence. So her book about self-confidence has now morphed into this new book, or this new company, I should say, which is getting people to publish their stories. So she helps people do that from start to finish. If y'all are interested in publishing a book, this is who you need to talk to, right? So on top of that, like I say, she's a mom of 4 and a wife. So we're going to talk a little bit about what she does in her career. And we're going to talk a little bit about that balancing act. Of course, there has to be a little. And then we're also going to get into this idea of what she does to maintain self-care and why it's pivotal to her success. All right. So y'all going to go with me. All right. Without further ado, please welcome to the Suzette Speaks Show. My friend, my homegirl, like blast from the past, the day coming through strong. Welcome, Miss Chanell Fair. Hey, Chanell.
Hi, guys. Hi. Thank you so much. Listen, I love that introduction, and you are crazy. I can see why everyone love you.
I appreciate
you were just
it.
going on. I said, girl, you better do it.
Girl, you know I come and I just like to talk. That's what this space allowed. I was like, who knew I could be doing this on YouTube all day? Like I could be doing this because this is what I like to do. I could just have a conversation for no reason. So this is beautiful. Good to see you, honey. Looking gorgeous.
Oh,
yes.
Thank you. And I love the new look. You look so good.
I tried a little something
different. And I see everybody in the comments like it too. I love it.
I didn't know how the people was gonna take it. Thank you, Abigail. Switching it up, Abigail, because it's nice to see you. Are you in Miami now officially? Nice to see you. I see you doing all that stuff on Facebook. Welcome. Real Deal Spencer to put a devil. Talk about let's go waves. Real Deal Spencer. Yeah. Oh snap.
I love it. Oh my God.
I love the way men describe your hair in the house with the crinkles, baby. Well, I'm glad you like the crinkles. Appreciate you, my brother. Real Deal Spencer, also a Patreon member. Thank you for showing love nice and early in this. We didn't even start the conversation yet. Thank you so much. Real Deal Spencer with the dub. Thank you very much. Talking about he like there. Well, I'm glad y'all approve. I was really nervous about sitting down here with this. I was like, Father, they gonna either like it or they gonna roast me, so whatever. So whatever y'all love, but let me get to my guest. Miss Chanell Fair is here, businesswoman extraordinaire, helping people to get their book published, push past the fear. Believe in
Mhm.
Yourself was your first book. I actually need to put that link in here so people will have that book too. And
Mhm.
I just want the people to get to know you as we talk about the self-care and getting past fear too, because I know you coach people along the lines of
Yeah.
that when it comes to the book and telling their story. So first and foremost, tell the people who you are and what you do. Welcome.
Hi guys, I am Coach Chanell Fair. I feel like Suzette, you did an awesome job introducing me, right? So I'm like, I don't know what else to say. Yes, so I do own Believe in Your Book Publishing. I am a certified life coach, and I'm excited to be here. I'm ready to get going. I'm ready to talk some talk and get this thing moving
Yeah,
because
let's
I'm
go. Let's go.
excited.
Let's go.
Let's do
Because I
it.
know four times mothers don't have all day. So let's get to it. So
Okay,
all right, so
okay.
all right, let's pick up from where we left off 2018. That would actually just make my day. So 2018, we had an
Yeah,
in-depth conversation about why people don't believe in themselves and the
yeah.
struggles that they go through and just kind of like, pushing themselves forward or putting themselves out there, I think would be the better place. So tell us about your first book and why
Mhm.
you wrote it.
So the name of my first book is called Believing Yourself and Manifest the Best You. And it focuses on confidence. And to be honest, the reason why I wrote the book, it was for me first, because I was dealing with a lot of issues with my confidence. And you'll hear a lot of people tell you, oh my gosh, you're so good at this, you're so good at that, but you don't believe it for yourself, right? So I was like, okay, when I started putting everything together, and I'm like, I've been wanting to write a book for so long. And if anybody's like me, procrastination was like my middle name, right? I'm saying I'll get to it when I can, I'll get to it. But for some strange reason, I never can get around to it. So I had to get focused and really put a deadline on what I was doing. So, and I, from I did that, I learned like when it comes to any of my goals, any of my dreams, I had to put a deadline on it in order for me to accomplish it. So after writing Believing Yourself, it helped me. Can you hear me? Okay, good. So
That's okay.
it
That's
helped
okay,
me
sis. Go
with
ahead.
believing in myself and taking the steps on what I need to do to continue on that path. Because it's okay to get there one time, but what happened when you stumble upon that again? What happened when you go through something? I had to create a, a routine for myself. And once I created the routine, I feel like my life has completely changed from that point.
Mm. So
So
creating a
that's it.
routine definitely helped you. And
Hmm.
like you said, you did it for you first, which is sounds like me. And don't worry about the internet. Sometimes we struggle stream. Don't worry about it, sis. Because I'm
Okay.
looking like we had no problems. I see you in the backstage, like nothing. It was perfectly fine. And all of a sudden, we try to be great. And look what happened. But we're not gonna let it stop us. So hit the like
Okay.
button. Y'all who's coming through, hit the like button. Let people be able to see it. The more people who hit like and interact with the stream, the better. So welcome to Coach Chanell Fair. I was talking about her journey, first of all, as a published author, right? So
Hmm.
believing yourself was her first theme. And so she had to push past her fear. Did you have fear before you wrote the first book? I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me? Did you have fear when you wrote the first book? I hope she can hear me. Can you hear me, Chanel? Lot of mercy. Chanel, can you hear me? I can hear you. I can hear you. Yes,
Okay. Can you hear me?
I can. I
Okay,
can.
but I can't hear you.
Okay.
I can't.
They won't let us
Okay.
be great. Chanel, I can hear you. So do you want to come off the ear pod? Do you want to come off the ear pod? You want to come off the ear pod, take out the ear pod, take it out, and just do regular and see what helps. It might be the ear pod, maybe it's not charged, but y'all welcome. This is Coach Chanell Fair. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me still? I want to welcome her. Y'all come in and hit the like button. It happened. You can't hear me still? You can't hear me still? Oh, geez. I wanted to just have a stroll down memory lane with my guests. I'm gonna come off and then you just type when you can hear me. Oh, geez. This is not something that we can predict, but thank you for hitting the like button. Wanted to talk about self-care and the importance of self-care. Thank you guys to everyone who has been supporting the stream. Here's the Cash App, but let me DM her in the private chat saying, "Hey, can you hear me?" Happens, it happens. If not, please restart your computer. All right, it happens, guys. Thanks for bearing with me. I hope she comes back on stronger. Okay, she's gone. Okay, cool, cool, cool. So she's gonna come back in. A lot of mercy. This is how it goes sometimes. I want to welcome you again, Suzette Speaks live stream on this beautiful, beautiful day. I don't know about you. It's been freezing. I think we went to bed here in Miami at like 55. 55. Froze my behind off, but you know what? It's all good. This morning, I did not go for a jog. I've only been exercising inside. Appreciate, look at that. Appreciate y'all. Welcome, Jules. Nice to see you. Working and watching your great show. We got a super chat. Welcome. Thank you. Michonne Denise, hit that like button. Afternoon, Sandy W. Nice to see you. Yes, I met this lady, or we had kind of been following each other in the same South Florida circle. And then I interviewed her 2018, and I saw the flyer, and it was kind of incredible to be like, yo, you remember you was like my first interview when I was doing Facebook Lives in person back in the day. And it was great. You can hear me now? Good girl. Yay. So we're just going to get back in the conversation. I'm sorry, because the ladies, they are showing love. The super chat's coming through. Says, I see RM say, okay, hey, educated. I just want to say hi to my people. Hey, educated Blackman, CUDMV Nation, welcome. Appreciate you. You know the struggle stream is real. This is real life. We can't help it sometimes. Sunbreeze, thank you so much for getting on them. My newest moderators, thank you, Sunbreeze and Michonne Denise. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Listen, tech support. I double as tech support, apparently. Trying to get to the super chat. Ohio. Oh, you still in Ohio? Okay, girl. I was just wondering about you if you ever been down so far. Texas in the building. I see you. Headed to North Florida, Sandy. Oh wow, on the interstate. Okay, so listening while you drive. Okay, drive good. All right. So I did see a super chat. I want to get thanks, DMV Nation. No comment. There we go. That's the word. No comment. Just love. DMV Nation in the building. Thank you so much for the love. All right. So you were telling me about the book, and I was asking you, did you have fear around that, writing it yourself, and kind of starting your coaching business? Talk about that for me.
I mean, fear was like my middle name. I was so afraid to write a book because I think the number one thing is when we're writing, it's for us. It's okay if you journal, you have your little diary and you're writing, but when you know that it's going to be exposed to the world, it's like, oh my gosh, what are people going to think about me? What are they going to say? And I think fear came over me so strong to the point that I hesitated on publishing my book. Because when I first did my book, I self-published my book. So I didn't go through a publishing company. I did it all by myself. I found my editors and made every mistake that I can possibly make, right? And the reason why I say that is because a lot of times people are not real with the situation. Everybody come in and act like they came on top from the beginning. No, you stumble along the way, and that's okay as long as you can get yourself back up and keep going. So Fair was my middle name. And even starting my coaching business, because once I became a published author, a lot of people came to me and they were like, hey, Chanell, can you help us? We want to do this. I want to publish a book. And I'm like, the struggles I went through, like, I don't know if I want to help you. That's a big deal. And, I prayed about it and I was like, I'm not sure. And I remember doing my first workshop, and my workshop was sold out, and so many women came and so many people was yearning for it. And I said, oh my gosh, the impact that you would make if you just eliminate fear from your life and do your God-given gift, right? And once you do that, you can unlock so many doors and you can do so many things if you just do what you're designed to do without hesitating.
That you're speaking my language. They're saying congratulations on your book, says Abigail. Invisible Card, nice to see you. So the fear thing. Let me wonderful talking about you gonna make me change your last name. Praise be to God. So we're here talking about fear. Let's stay focused. And I want you to talk about in coaching people. Now you coach people to get their books published. So you went from, when was published in 2018? The book was published in 2018 or before?
It was published 2018.
Yes, 2018. So I got you fresh off the publication.
I'm talking about all the way fresh.
Yes. And now, so now you are helping guys hear the transition I'm making, because the walking your gift, we hear it. We're very, it rolls off the tongue. But the person who was actually in front of us is kind of living proof that, okay, within that is your destiny. The fear can hold you back from your destiny if you're not careful. So you get past the fear. Oh my gosh, the public exposure. Help me, oh God, because I've had a book written for a while, but I don't know if that's the book God want me to publish. So I thought to myself, God, people will see, me and judge me. And I feel very self-conscious about it. I hear you. And I'm sure as you are in this company, but let me put her company up there, and moderators are dropping her Insta and the website, Believe in Your Book Publishing. You see it there. So
Yes.
talk about how you help now authors to be push past that fear, because I'm sure you see it on a daily basis or whenever you're with clients. Talk about what you hear when
I
people are, and you can use this for any part of your destiny, guys. She's talking about book publishing, but I want you guys to use it in terms of whatever you're going through. What do you hear the most when people are stepping into your office or doing your Zoom or whatever and wanting to do the book, but a book, but now are first, kind of hesitant and almost, some are stuck in not wanting to do it. What do you hear and what does that sound like?
So what I hear the most is that when people come to me, they have the desire to be a published author, but then they're not sure. They're like, I'm not sure if I want to do this. It's like I want to do it, but I don't know the steps to take. And with wanting to be a published author, it's work, right? And I tell them that you don't just come in and think, okay, today you want to be a published author. You have to write, right? So I laugh at them all the time because everybody wants to publish a book, but no one wants to do the groundwork. But the fear that I get the most is it's always the closest time to publishing. Like in the beginning, they're excited, they have a coach, they're like, we're meeting often, we're going over steps, and we have a system and everything. But when it gets close to the publishing time, that's when they want to pull back. That's when it's like, oh, I'm not sure, should I change the date, should I do this, is everything good enough? And that goes back to them comparing themselves or comparing their books to other books, right? So I always have to teach them and tell them, listen, I know how it feels. I've been there. And that's the beauty about walking my authors through the process, is because I've been there as well, right? So I know when you get close to the end, it's like, oh, like butterflies come in your stomach, and it's like, okay, I'm not sure if I can actually do this. And that's when I would get them to just kind of calm down and just remember the reason why. So the number one thing as to why they're publishing a book, we go through that from the beginning. What is the purpose of your book? What are people going to gain from this book? And a lot of times we don't want to tell our story because we feel like people are going to judge us. When we don't realize, when we tell our stories, it helps to unlock other people with where they are. For example, if you're a young lady that's dealing, maybe you've gone through a divorce, right? And you might not want to talk about that divorce because the divorce might feel like a failure. Like you didn't accomplish something, you didn't finish that pathway. No, the divorce might help another young lady that's going through it. And when she reads your book, she might say, oh my gosh, if she can do it, I can do it. So it's that overcoming process, because we don't publish any old books. It doesn't work like that. We publish books that have purpose. So once you tap into your purpose and you realize it's not just about you, it's about other people, because other people's destinies is wrapped up into yours.
Man.
So if you do what you're supposed to do, you can help unlock their destiny. And once they get themselves out the way, then they can move forward. And that's what we focus on the most.
That's a word in of itself. Whatever it is your path is supposed to be, guys. The way I am hearing her kind of relay this is again just a renewed reminder that no matter who you are and what you're doing, it's important, because no matter who you are, what you're doing, it is not just about you. It is oftentimes about people who are watching you that you don't even know. And I mean here in the literal sense, but I mean people in your sphere of influence, people who you will have an impact on that you don't even know yet. So oftentimes when we get caught up in this kind of like almost it's an ego part of us, right? It's a part of us that wants to protect, what people think about us and what people say about us and all those things. It is oftentimes that part of us that kind of keeps us from what you're calling destiny, which is the impact it will have on anybody who's supposed to have read your book, visited your company, done anything. I want to take it out the book only context, guys. I want it to be kind of a broader, whatever you're supposed to be doing, because every time you do what you're supposed to be doing, the impact, whether it be on your kids, whether it be on your spouse, your neighbor, like I said, people who have you have no idea who will be watching or just kind of enjoying what it is that you do or provide. It is so important that we get past that fear. And I like the fact that you talk about it being right at the end. Hit the like button right at the end. When something is about to be birthed, when something is about to be kind of manifest, if we say it that way, there is the most fear then. It's the most doubt then. That's the pullback. That's the step back where you were. You're not worthy. You're not supposed to be. Who are you to? Oh my goodness. So many of us are in this kind of struggle right now for whatever is in your life that you are supposed to be diligently at work in. And if we're not careful, we can get tricked into, and that's that mental trick, that's that fear talk, right? Which is not real true, false evidence appearing real, however they say it. You got to be conscious of that, because what you have inside of you is not just for you guys. It's not just for, our own ego to be protected. Help me, oh God. It is oftentimes for other people. So I'm grateful that you're coaching people now and helping people get their book out of them, out to the public, out, from this space is what I was going to say of doubt. So now you are also balancing life, balancing kids and coaching and being a wife. So how long have you been married? I'm all in your business now, Coach. Y'all hit the like button.
Fine, girl, accent.
I'm taking notes. I'm taking notes.
So this year makes 7 years that.
Fantastic.
Yeah, 7
Fantastic.
years.
So 7 years strong and mama 4. So do you ever feel overwhelmed? Trick question.
Absolutely. Overwhelmed's my middle name. Now, like I got a lot of middle names today.
I just got one person. I'd be overwhelmed. I'd be like, how am I going to do this with people? Other people depend on me. I'm like, people do this with other people, other mouths to feed. So how do you
work?
Do you feel burnout? Do you feel overwhelmed? Is that talk to me about how your balance or sense of balance is. Let's talk about 2021. Let's start there. How did you balance? Were you feeling in alignment? Did you feel balanced as you were so busy? Because I saw the Believe in Your Book kind of around July of last year.
Yeah.
So talk about your 2021 and how it progressed.
So 2021, it actually was it was a good and bad year. So because of COVID, we all know, the devastations from so many families. And my family was one of the ones that was impacted, right? Because I lost my sister due to COVID. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know that.
It was a lot that was going on. But I had to ground myself, and I had to take time for myself, and I had to pull back. There are times that I had to go backwards instead of going forward. And everybody wants to be this social media guru, and everybody wants to be out there. And there are times that you have to kind of unwind. You have to disconnect, right, from that life and make sure that you're pouring back into your cup. Because if you're operating from a place of emptiness, then you have nothing to give. And see, before, in the beginning stages of being married and having children, I used to operate from that place of emptiness. So that would cause me to be burnt out. That would cause me to feel overwhelmed. That would cause me to not know what I'm doing or how I'm going forward. But I had to create a routine. I had to understand, okay, I have to tap into the source. Because if everybody needs mommy, right? From the kids, I get mommy, the husband, everybody is looking for mommy. And then I have my clients, right? So I had to get to a place that I say, okay, how can I do this and be successful at it? And I realized if I take care of me, right? And I'm telling you, I hear it so many times, women do the opposite. They take care of everybody else and leave themselves for last. But I understood, if I take care of me, what does that mean? That doesn't mean me just going to the hairdresser and get my nails done or toes done and stuff like that. This is me dealing with the spirit man. This is me tapping into what God has for me. So I started to create a morning routine. So before my family gets up, before any of that, I would take the time and I'll begin to journal. I'll begin to pray, and I tap into what God has for me first. Once I get filled up, then I have enough to give and give and give to my family all day. So now when say it becomes the end of the day, I'm not completely wiped out like how some women will be. Why? Because I took the time and got filled up before I gave out of a place of emptiness. Wow. So that's what truly helped me and have been helping me along the way. And
so
that's
we're
something
talk about that routine. Yeah, not having a routine and not starting in the spirit first for you. I hear you. I didn't even see this question. Thank you. Invisible Car saying inspirational words already. Let's go. Hit that like button, y'all. I see you, Mr. Real Estate. Mr. Real Estate like to give inquisitive questions right off the bat. Thinking, gentlemen, do you think that the barrier of entry has lowered for publishing in recent years? I'm working, you are on a book and don't know where to, hello, that's why there is Chanell Fair. Good question, Mr. Real Estate. And thank you for the super chat. What say you to this question, my dear, before we pivot back into the self-care?
Yeah, so absolutely. I think that it's been a big change in a publishing game now. And that's because a lot of people are going through the self-publishing process. So the standards are no longer there, right? So what with my company, I get people that come and they have to get their books republished. Why? Because they published on their own and they thought they knew what they were doing, but it's not on a professional level. So their books cannot be entered into certain places. It can't get into Barnes and Nobles. It can't get into any of these amazing Books a Million or different sites like that and platforms, because the level has now decreased because people are self-publishing. So tapping into working with a professional, it pays, like, how can I say this? In order for you to get a certain level of what you're looking for, you have to work with a professional in order to do it. If I need a lawyer, if I need someone to help to represent me, I'm going to go to the best of the best, or someone that I know what they're doing, instead of me trying to represent myself, right? And I know, Suzette, you can talk on that part, right? So it's important to have
Amen.
a professional to help you, because guess what? You get to cut corners. They get to teach you things. They get to show you stuff that you might not didn't know, and you might lose out on certain things because you didn't work with a professional. So the professional side of it, you have to get with someone that can get you to where you need to be, instead of trying to do it on your own, because then you're operating at such a low frequency, right? So now when you thought your book could have made it all the way here, it can't, because of the lack of professionalism that it has.
Yeah, I've been contemplating this. There are several people, I mean, at least in the recent shows I've done.
Mhm,
Chanell Fair here, guys, so check her out. Also Condra Ward, who was at the very beginning of the year.
mhm.
These ladies help people get published. So I hear you. And I think there are wonderful resources now that help, even though some people still get it wrong. So I agree with her. When I'm ready to do it, I gotta have somebody show me how to do it for real, so
That's
that I'm eligible to do what she's talking about, get on the Barnes and Noble and these kind of major lists, right? And
mhm.
Amazon and whatnot. So it's very interesting now. Again, it's easier, but you can still make mistakes. So it's very important that you do connect with someone like Chanell Fair and her company. Hello. And shorten that learning curve and hopefully avoid any pitfalls. So great question, Mr. Real Estate. Thank you for that. If you guys have book publishing questions, please go ahead and put them in the chat. I'm she'll be happy to address them, and I'm sure she will through her website. Also, y'all visit the website and you get to see. Look at it. All right, RM on the job. Go buy her book. Believe in yourself. Manifest the best you. So it's on Amazon. So she did it right way. So go ahead and look her up and go look at that book. I can't believe it's 4 years old now, or five. Is
Yeah.
it 4 years old? So we're getting there, ma'am. We're getting there. So back to kind of like your first foray into married life and being a mom. So
Mhm.
you said you had first started to try to be everything to everybody
Yeah.
and try to push yourself to the limit.
Yeah.
And anybody who needed you, you just drop what you're doing and go. Anybody can relate? Okay, okay. So you said I got out of that because I realized it wouldn't serve and it couldn't be
No good.
sustained, honestly, when
No
it
good.
comes to trying to be the best mom, trying to be the best wife, trying to be the best, business owner and coach to your clients.
Yeah.
So and you said 2021 was
Mhm,
very difficult because you end up losing your sister
mhm,
to the C-19.
mhm.
So I can imagine, launching this company, having that big of a loss.
Mhm.
Also, home obligations don't change. So
Right.
you said you were able to maintain through the routine that you had.
Yeah.
So give me an example of that routine, because we want some tangible steps for folks watching. When you say you wanted to maintain that balance first from the inside out,
Yeah.
give us an example of what you mean when you say we need to all establish a routine.
So the routine for me, number one, I'm a reader, right? So even though I write books, it's important to read because I have to fill myself up. So it's not just me reading the Bible. I read books that can help me to become a better version of me, because I think that's important. The second thing that I do is I journal. So I'm always journaling. And the reason why I journal is because a lot of times as women and men, we hold so much inside of us and we don't have an area to release. We don't have an area to kind of let things flow. And once you hold on to it, this is how people end up going into like depression. This is how people end up, having sickness in their bodies because they don't have a place to release. And a lot of people, and I'm all for working out. Absolutely. I think working out is awesome. But how are you releasing from the mental capacity? What are you doing there to, unlock certain things. So journaling for me helped me. It was very therapeutic. So when there are times that I'm feeling, overwhelmed, when I was feeling broken up by my sister, the loss of her life, from just experiencing all of that, the number one thing I did was journal. And in my journaling, I wrote letters to God. And I'm telling God, God, this is how I feel. This is where I am. And this is where I want to be. So in my journaling time, it's not just me complaining or saying, I'm so sick of this or I'm tired of that. It's me first giving thanks and reverencing him, and then going into saying, okay, God, here are the things that I would want to do. These are some things that I want to accomplish. Because I realize when I focus on the good in life, right, that I end up getting more good. If I focus on the bad in life, then I'm going to get more bad. So of course I'm going to focus on the good. And I begin to tell God, here are some things that I would like to do. Because I can't make him do it for me. I can ask him, right? And then creating a vision for what I want. So I spend a lot of time focusing on me and figuring out, okay, what do I want? And even as a mom, as a wife, sometimes you think you're just placed in that role. No, not everybody can be a wife. Not everybody can be a mother, right? So it takes a certain type of woman to be able to unlock that. And I'll be truly honest with you guys. Before I met my husband, I was a single mom first. And I was a single mom of 2 kids, not just one. And going from being super independent, super, I got all this figured out. I can do this. I had to learn.
No, break that down, sis. Don't just pass over it, because some people need to hear it. Hello. So going from what?
Yes. So I went from being a single mom of 2 and wanting to be married, right? Because if anybody are like me, you had these horrible relationships. You might have dealt with like domestic violence and just all kinds of different things. And that was actually my story, right? I dealt with domestic violence in my previous relationship, and, being with this person since high school, right? So when you're with this person for so long, you kind of feel like, would I ever be able to get out of this relationship? And I had to understand how important self-love is, and that I deserve more, and understand my worth. But I didn't know my worth because I was looking for other people to tell me what my worth was. But how are you going to tell me my worth when you don't even know what my worth is, because you didn't design me? You don't know who I am. You don't know my purpose in life. So how would you be able to tell me my worth? And that's when I truly began to get a relationship with God. And I had to get into his word and understand, what is God saying about me? Right? So then he begins to say, you are the head and not the tail. You're above and not beneath. And I'm like, oh my gosh, am I? Right? And you get to get this new way of confidence. Like, it's a new level of confidence. It's not just oh, you're cute, or you look nice, or, your shoes is cute. No, this confidence was something that was coming from within, that nobody can take from me. Not a man, not, anybody, nobody can take that. And then I was like, oh my gosh, like, I am worth something. And I had to understand my worth. And that helped me to remove toxic individuals out of my life. And it's not even just the significant other. It can be friends that you have around you that don't appreciate who you are and where you're going. So I had to start leveling up, right? I had to say, you know what, if I want more for my life, I need to start getting in a certain circle of individuals that can help impact my life. And I started to tap in. I started to sit with married women. I started to ask them questions. How does it feel being married? What y'all have to do? Oh, you cook all the time? Oh my gosh, I need to start cooking. I need to learn how to cook. So you start really going after the things that you want. But if you don't have a vision for what you want, that you're going to keep going through life, like waves, getting pushed left and right. But when you put together a vision and you submit that vision to God, you say, God, only if this is a part of your will, this is the desire I have. So God, what steps do I need to take to get here? So you can't see the actual steps, but he may give you a glimpse of the final destination where he wants you. And it's like, oh, and if your vision for your life don't scare you, you need to go back and get a new vision. Right? Like, if it's not something that's like, oh my God, I don't know if I can do it, go back and tap into the source that can help you get to where you need to be, and stop connecting with people that
you're dropping bars, You're dropping bars, because I have to stop you, because I'm like, I have a little, like, my eyes are welling up, and I'm like, get it together. You are on a show. Stop mixing up your face, because in my heart, you are speaking that language. Again, we don't be like trying to, I don't know. I don't apologize for my Christian belief. But I know everybody's beliefs are different. But I'm going to tell you who I am authentically, and my sister here and I connect on that. So we're just gonna move in that as I think is just authentic to both of us. Thank you, Mr. Real Estate, again, Coach Chanell. Thank you for sharing your incredible story, and thanks for bringing out Suzette's accent. You know what? They be tripping. They be tripping because everything that you just said. Y'all, what is going on in the comments? This one, first of all, Abigail talking about if you're single, just ask. That's my boy. That's my boy over here.
They trying to set you up,
Listen,
okay? Trying to get
so
you
my
that ring,
brother,
honey.
who was afraid of me being on YouTube and was like, so you really talking about relationships still? And I was like, I'm gonna dabble because, again, as you said, that's what's important to you. Thank you again, Mr. Real Estate. That's what's important to me. So I can't inauthentically be up here and say, okay, I'm not gonna talk about it any at all, because
Right.
it's important to me. It's something that has come to like my mirror's place, like look me in my face. And if you say you want this, you have to study it. As you said, you have to get around people who are married. You have to get around folks with wisdom and people that are not necessarily, because even inadvertently going to try to keep you single. I don't say that because I don't want to think that, because I don't think that's on purpose. But a lot of people don't know how to be with someone else. So it can oftentimes manifest in bad advice. Let's just leave it right there. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but when you're talking about understanding who you are in your spirit man or spirit woman, whatever, from your divine creator, this is what we're talking about, that divine creator moment of realization. Help us all, Lord, to get that. Help us all, God, to understand who we are as designed by you. That our intrinsic value is not coming from how cute we are, what hair we got, you know, how many pounds we got on, if we're single, if we're married, if we got kids, if we don't have kids, if we short, tall, ugly, fat, slim, whatever. That's not what determines your value. You're important because you are a divinely created soul.
That's right.
And son or daughter of the Most High. That's all. That right there pays your bills. That right, okay, that right there is enough if you get the full understanding of it. But many, and I've met people, help me, oh God, to also just bring that to my memory. Mr. Hussein talking about bring that to my memory. Don't lose my train of thought. That I've met many people, many men who don't understand their own divinity. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It hurt me to see folks who are kings operating below their birthright. Because if you're a king and if you understand your relationship to the Most High, you wouldn't hurt other people's daughters. You just wouldn't do it.
That's
If
right.
you understood your value as a king, as a son of the Most High, and therefore your role, your birthright of being that leader. But I'm talking about how and what do you use as your moral compass, right? Your dad, your father, right? You use that divine knowledge that is given to you from your reading, from your studying and all that to kind of become that king, that become that son or daughter of the Most High. Help us, God. So we would operate different. We would love ourselves so we could love other people. But when I meet people, men and women, who are almost self-abusive and therefore abusive to other people, I already know your connection to your divine identity has been broken in some way, or just needs to be restored in some way. And I think of what you're saying at your lowest, when you were going through your own abuse and whatnot, understanding who you are as designed by, from our understanding Christ Jesus, from our divinely orchestrated in this universe life, is what helped you to regain your sense of self-confidence and self-worth, and to see, no, anybody who don't treat me a certain type of way cannot be my so-called Boaz. Anyone who is putting hands or whatever the case is, man or woman, I don't care. It's not really gender at this moment. It's more about understanding your value and understanding who you are as, again, a divinely created being. And if we get away from that, we stop acting as our birthright should allow us.
Yeah.
Right? And we start acting in a different character. Help us all, God. So it's always good to be reminded, if we have strayed or if we are no longer in touch with that divine source, we got to realign, because there's a lot of power in it, right? In our own self-confidence, our own self-worth, right? And understanding what we deserve in life. As she said, your vision should really scare you. Some of us have stopped dreaming. Some of us don't believe we're worth or worthy of living out certain dreams. Help me, God, right? So again, understanding who we are as a divine being created by the being that is too big to understand, right? We don't have within our own capacity to understand that supernaturalness, but we have to understand that it lives within us. It is our birthright, right? And if we start to behave in ways, help us God, either on the giving or the receiving end, treating people a certain way or allowing ourselves to be treated a certain way, we have to kind of reconnect, reevaluate first. Why am I doing this? And then reconnect if we haven't been connected. I thank you for saying that. So you, in your routine of understanding where you were and being able to lift oneself out of a relationship that wasn't serving you. Of course, that high school love is sweet, baby. That high school love make you feel like it's only one person can love me like this, God. I ain't gonna let go. Won't let go, especially when you have kids with the person. It's like, oh my God, I don't want to mess up my family. People go through this. This is a hard decision.
Yeah.
So you do it through what you've called that deep what should I say, interspiritual? I don't know if that's the right word. Just reading your Bible, getting into your word, and reflecting on who God says you are.
And forgiving myself.
Amen.
I have
Expound
to
on that.
forgive myself. So
Mhm.
I feel for me, I had to, one, come to the realization of my situation. And it wasn't ideal. And because it wasn't ideal, it kind of makes you feel bad. You know, you're looking at your kids and it's like, I'm so sorry for putting you in the situation. You know, you're looking at yourself saying, you should know better. Why would you allow yourself to go through this? Why did you allow your children to go through this? And sometimes that would torment you. You know, you're trying to move forward, but you can't move forward because you haven't forgiven yourself for the things, the past things that you allowed yourself to go through. And you know how you have to forgive others to move on? Forgiving you is important too. Coming to a place and saying, you know, Chanell, you didn't mean to do this, right? It's okay that you've done it. God still loves you. He puts all of that behind you. You can go forward. And I had a tendency to keep looking back. Every minute I'm looking back because it's like, oh my gosh, what if? Or how come? Or why did I? And God had to remind me that those sins that was behind you, the things that you went through, these experiences, it wasn't just for you, because now you can turn around and help another young lady who's going through something similar and let them know, listen, if you overcome it, it's greater on the other side. Once you get through it, because a lot of women stay in it and they feel like, I don't know how I'm going to get out. That's because you're staying in it. You have to go through it. Once you go through it, you come out as a champion. Then you can look back and say, oh my goodness, girl, you really went through that. Now when I tell my story, it don't even feel like it's me, because I was a different person back then.
Yeah.
And I forgave the younger me because she didn't know any better, right? She didn't know any better. That's why she went through it. But I thank God that I went through, and now I can look back and say, girl, kudos to you for getting
Yeah.
through it.
Yeah,
Right?
no, you did remind we had a similar conversation on Tuesday of last week with wealth engineering. Big up yourself, wealth engineering. We talked about mistakes and not thinking that we made good decisions. And again, you have touched on something that is so sensitive to us as many of us as human beings. Some people have mastered it, but forgiving your younger self. Whoa.
Yeah.
If we could learn to do that, help me. I look back, I'd be like, why did I let this dude do that? Why did I fill in the blank? And you get trapped by it. You can become imprisoned by your past.
Yes.
And I'm not talking about just those who have been in prison. I'm talking about us who live on
That's a
the
good name
outside.
for a book.
We're not free. We in our own prison, self-built.
Yeah.
Right? God who sets us free. We have to understand we're free indeed.
Yeah.
But many of us are held hostage by our own past.
That's it.
So understanding you as a person kind of undergoing that evolution of understanding that I can not judge her, I can forgive her, my younger self. And I can say to her, okay, you didn't know better. You didn't have the strength. You weren't making a sound decision the way you would make now because you have the information now and you're empowered now. So it's okay. Help us all, God, to do that, because many of us get stuck in that self imposed cycle of unforgiveness of one's own self. So you were able to finally come to peace with, I made those decisions. It wasn't my best time. I have a friend like this. God, I don't even want to mention her name. She is in her stride now, and I'm so proud of her. My aunt called me today to talk about, she had a birthday party, and she was like, yeah, you know, because her child's father, she was early 20s, late teens. Child's father turned out to be not so good, like in jail, not good.
Mm-hmm.
And the woman she is now, she is married now, has a high schooler and a young baby with her new husband.
That's
And
it.
you giving people hope, yes, had children and married, because there's a whole narrative, and I'm not going to go there, talking about, why people don't choose women with children, and maybe won't choose women with children. But I see at least two people right now, even in my circle, that are opposite.
Yeah.
And she was talking about the child, and how she was warned about the child's father. And I was like, but she has recovered. And I said, she is living in her best season right now. You don't see how the girl look good and tan good and have good husband, good house, good job, and money flowing.
That's
So why
right.
you want to keep her to the child must be 16 now? I was like, that was 16 years ago.
In
That's
her
16 years
past,
ago.
honey. Mm-hmm.
And look how good she is. When you see her in her pictures, I was like, God, that's an internal glow. That's not no fake glow. That's a good man glow. Good family life. She was talking about her career. I said, that's not career. That's good family life, good groundation.
That's
That's what you see on her face. And
yeah.
they ready to bring you back to 16 years ago. That's not who she is. So let's talk
And
about
let
who
them
she is now.
talk.
I almost had to get on.
Let them talk, girl. It's
Said, you know
fine.
what? I'm with who she is now,
That's right. That's
because
right.
our sisters of the less melanated persuasion get a restart.
Yeah.
Oh, they can reinvent. So I'm gonna let her reinvent too. How about that? Okay, we're gonna reinvent. But I'm glad for what you said, because there's so many of us sitting in unforgiveness for our past. So we're
Yep.
here now, guys. After we've done the work, as you said, you journal. Talk about your journaling. You say you just write letters to God and thank Him.
Um,
What is your journaling like then, and what is your journaling like now?
it's probably the same, right?
Oh,
So I
okay.
start off and I always date it because not only do I journal, so my journaling consists of first, I start off with Dear God, right? And I always start off with thanking Him and asking Him to forgive me if I've done anything that was displeasing. And then I just start going into what's going on, right? He already knows what's happening, but He wants to commune with us. He wants to hear what we have to say. So I would talk to Him like a friend because the Bible says that He sticks closer than a brother, right? So I write with Him and I talk with Him and I say, God, this is where I am. This is what I want to be. I had a great day today. Thank you for allowing everything to go smoothly. And I just have a normal conversation. And I also put on an instrumental. It's a worship instrumental. It doesn't have any words, and it kind of gets your spirit right and kind of gets you in the mood to be able to hear from God. So as I'm writing, I take time and get into a quiet place, right? So for God to speak to me, and it takes time sometimes to hear His voice. But if you've never heard God's voice, there's a way that you can tap into His presence, and He will begin to speak to you and give you direction and tell you what to do and what He wants from you. You can ask Him questions during that time. So it's really that intimacy with God and learning more about Him and just being honest with Him. I don't come in with thou shall and try to be all holier than thou. No, because I don't talk like that. I go to God. He already knows who I am. So I'm going to be real with Him and just say, God, this is where I'm at. This is how I feel for days that I don't feel well, and I'm like, God, today was rough, but thank you for letting me get through it. Help me, God, today, and let today be a better day. And just really being real. And I'm real with God, and I'm also real with myself. If I get to a point that I say, this is not working, then it's time to make some changes, right? And self-love is so important. And for those who are listening, that if that means that you have to, one, change your circle, if you have to maybe change your hairdo, whatever you have to do to make you feel good about you, you do that, because you have one life to live and you want to make it the best life. And as you enjoy your life and enjoy the process, everybody want to be on top. Everybody want to be the best at everything. What about the process of getting there? Enjoy the days that you're not doing nothing. If you go Netflix and chill and feel good about it, and stop beating yourself up or comparing yourself to other people, because you are enough and you have to believe that you're enough because God created you in His image and in His likeness. So you're just as good as that person over there, that person over there. So my words to you guys is just trust in the person that God created you to be. If you haven't reached that destination yet, enjoy the process of getting there, right? And take your time. Don't beat yourself up. We're not perfect. None of us are perfect. We all make mistakes, but take your time and enjoy it. Enjoy the everyday, the little things, because those are the things that you have to remember, right?
Yeah.
We can't take none of these material things with us, but those memories is what we'll have. So enjoy the process. If you're going on dates, have fun on your dates, enjoy it. Don't make it such a no, enjoy every step of the way. And I enjoy my children, I enjoy my husband, and I'm so grateful because I realized not everybody have what I have, right? And I just thank God for that. I thank God that I have a sound mind. I thank God that I can wake up every day and be happy to be who I am, because I can only be me. It sucks when I try to be like that person or like that. It doesn't work out. I can't do my hair like hers. It don't work for me, but this works for me, and I just stay in my lane, and I'm happy to be where I am. And I love it. And self-love, again, is so important, but you got to love you first, right? How is someone going to know how to love you when you don't love you?
Yeah, you said so much right there. I'm gonna just read some of the comments. Thank you, Simon Hectic, my brethren from the UK. Big up yourself. That's really interesting and a good tip, as it's really hard to start with a blank page sometimes with journals. So that music and that inspirational music is for sure, for sure. I see you, culture clinician. I emailed you. I think my email box was full. My Suzette Speaks email box is full. So some of y'all who was emailing me, I didn't get it till like yesterday. I apologize. You, as well as Wealth Engineering, got real late responses. So I did respond to you, sir. I want you on my show. Yay. I'm glad you're over here. The Culture Clinician got so much to say. And we're talking about that self-development, sir, that I really want to tap into your insight on, hopefully on this channel. So welcome to the Culture Clinician. Fantastic brother on the YouTube space here, and really bringing truth, honesty, and a perspective of internal growth leads to external, success in life and family and all the wonderful, things that we want to do in business. Same thing, kind of what I preach. The inside has to be dealt with. But we are here with Coach Chanell Fair, and she has given us so many good nuggets right now when it comes to not only self-forgiveness, how to journal. I think you're right, Simon Hectic. Understanding that when we are writing our thoughts, sometimes I'm looking at, that's how I feel when I start to pray. Sometimes I'd be like, God, what do you even want me to say? I don't have a word to even put out there for me to start, like before what to say when I'm praying. I just start. I'm like, okay, I'm praying for a husband. God, thank you very much. I don't know what to say sometimes. So I agree with you. A little bit of inspirational music sometimes to allow your spirit to kind of get primed into a space that will say, okay, flow, come forward, because we do have those feelings. They're there, but sometimes we can't even summon them on demand. That sometimes you have to give yourself kind of the environment to be able to write them and express yourself, right? So the music for sure. Akimo says, do you review your old journal entries periodically? Does your journaling assist you with tracking your progress to accomplish your purpose? I love it. He's like, let's get some business out of this, because I think some of the other points that you made in terms of understanding, again, your lane, your journey, your calling is not what another person's calling is. And the look left and the look right and the comparison is a thief of joy. And many of us are stuck with, help me, oh God, that person is married, they must be happier than me. But you don't know that they are. Oh, that person got her family, her kids, she must be, but you don't know that. So we have to all be very guarded because of social media, to not be studying. I've practiced, I've started since the beginning of the year, and I'm still sticking to it. When I first wake up, my first habit was to grab the phone and start reading what everybody else was doing. I tried to within the first hour of waking up. I'm not always successful. Sometimes it's only 15 minutes, but I'm trying to clear my mind, set my intention for the day, say a prayer, reflect a little bit, and then go. Because if not, you can get caught up into that kind of like a vortex of self-comparison. And even if you're not doing it conscientiously, you're doing it. That FOMO is real. That feeling of, oh my gosh, so and so has, like even my homegirl I was just mentioning, I could look at the pictures of her party and be like, whoa, no, I looked at it and I was like, girl, you killing it. I'm so happy for you to see you in your happy place. And I think some of that comes from that desire to want to be happy. You see somebody else that look happier than you or seems to experience joy in a way that you wish you had joy. But we're saying to you right now, it don't come no other way but from the inside of you.
Right.
The coming to terms with you, coming to peace with your past, right? Operating within your gift. That's where the joy and enjoying. Thank you for saying it, my sister. The journey, the destination, y'all we all want to be on top. but it's going to take a process. So help me, oh God, that has come to my consciousness as well, my sister. The journey, that's what we live on a day-to-day basis. So if we are ignoring the journey, or we are, what should I say, enduring, tolerating the journey, we got the wrong mindset. The journey is what helps build you. That's where you're going to spend most of the time. The mountaintop is like this. The journey is real. So anyway, sorry, you had so many beautiful nuggets there, my sister. I want to give you a chance to answer Kimo's question here now.
So I do review my old journals, and let me just be clear. So I do have a prayer closet, right, that I go into, and I put all my prayers up on the wall, and I have one of my, I made a list of answered prayers, right, and a gratitude list. And I created these lists because I want to keep at the forefront of my mind the things that God has done for me. And when I write it down for the days that you know how we have those days that we are unappreciated, right? It's just like, why is this happening? Why, we step out of the gratitude phase. I go over those lists, and it keeps me humble. It reminds me of all the great things that God has done. So not only do I go back to my old journals, I definitely go back to track the progress, but I have a list of things that are called answered prayers that I've prayed for and God has done for me. And this was just within the year. Like if I wanted to be more specific and I'm going over the past 10 years, oh my gosh, it'll be a book, right? So for the year, I keep track of it. If I've been praying for this and God did it for me. And it's not even just about me. It's also about other people that I've been praying for, and I've seen God deliver them from something, or I've seen somebody accomplish something that they wanted, and that was my prayer. I keep that at the forefront, and it keeps me grounded. So that's a list that I go over constantly. And it's pretty exciting to even get the list and add more stuff to it, right? It's like, oh my gosh, God did, I'll have to add this to the list because God did it. I prayed about it and he made it happen. So it's pretty exciting. So I don't want this journey to sound, too dull or too,
No, I'm like, I need to take notes. This remind me of the first interview. I'm like, wait a minute, what have I been doing? Let me get my list.
Seriously. And to be honest, right? So I know, I heard you talk about, praying for a husband, right? So can I just share a little bit of what I
Amen. We've been taking all notes. Thank you.
Okay. So in the beginning, I created a list, and with my list, I wrote down all the things that I wanted in a husband. What I did not write is the cliche stuff. God, he got to be tall. He has to be this. I left all that out because I know he knows the desires of my heart. I know he knows the things that I like, but my number one thing was him being a man of God, a man that can pray for me, a man that can lead me spiritually, a family man, because, I already had kids. So that was important. I didn't want a guy that didn't like children. That wasn't going to work out, so I just started writing all the qualities that I wanted in a husband. And I would do my affirmations. And in my affirmations, I would say, I'm an amazing wife. And it's funny because I still say that till this day. And that was before I got the ring. I would just speak that over my life. Say,
sorry to interrupt you. Say that conversation that we had in my office, I remember you telling me that, and I've been trying to do that in my life. As I was reflecting on the beginning of 2022, I had it in my spirit that I was like, Chanell need to come back and be a guest. And I remember that conversation after, and I think it was during our recording. I wish I could find that. I don't know if it's on my YouTube page still. It might be on Facebook, but I need to put it on YouTube.
Yeah.
When you kept saying prior to meeting the man that I am an amazing wife. Yeah. I've tried to say that to myself in the mirror, but I don't know if I believe it.
But
I've been trying to, but I don't know how to start believing it. Because I've been saying it because I remember you saying that to me. I remember that conversation very, very, very clearly. And I was like, Chanell said she said this before she found her husband. Yeah. I'm trying everything. I'm putting a little salt, sugar, everything.
But you know what it is? You have to believe it though. So I did a vision board, right? And my vision board, I found some rings that I wanted. I found a dress that I wanted. I didn't care what nobody was saying. They can call me crazy, whatever they want. But I know that I was going to put together all the stuff that I wanted to accomplish. And the Bible says, write the vision and make it plain. So I created a vision. And I told myself that in the next 5 years, I'm going to be a wife. In the next 5 years, I'm going to have this. I would have that. Now, not that I got everything that I wanted, but I got majority of the stuff that was on that list, but I started to get in tune with me and the things that I wanted. And I got out of those certain conversations, the ones, it ain't really no good men out there no more. The devil's a liar. There's a lot of great men that's out there.
We don't even play that over here. We don't even play. We don't even play that over here. You're, as you say, your environment reflects who you hang around and what they say and what you say to yourself. So
Yeah.
all of that feeling of negativity when it comes to men and relationships, we're not entertaining it. We're not. There's amazing people. I feel like, God, if I'm still single, it got to be some good men that's still single. They're still around here somehow. Abigail, I love her little quip. She don't need to pray her husband on here right now. Well, God, we'll see what's good. But Simon Hectic, I thought this was a very interesting thought. Is that true about the comparison thing? Sorry, been in a vortex for the last 10 years. Social media, you actually probably are happier that you have not been on social media the last 10 years, because social media has put the pressure on men and women and the lives that we lead and
Yeah.
what we quote should have and what we should be like and how we should look and all the rest of it, when most of us don't look like the Insta models. Most of us don't look like these six-pack men and all that. We put on a couple pounds here and there, or hair receding. All of this happens. We're human beings and we're aging. So it's a very crazy world that expects you to almost be a failure if you're aging. So
Yeah.
it's very, very sad in terms of a distorted view of a human lifespan. So it's a very interesting thing that thankfully you have probably missed out mostly if you have not been on it for most of the last 10 years. Thank God. Abigail says, yay for the prayer closet. And she also agreed that her first hour is definitely in prayer every day. Wow, help me, God. I get about 5 minutes in my mind. It's like, whoops, and I'm going on to the next thing. So I need to get a little bit more discipline. The Naked Truth by Annette's World Views. Welcome, says, I'm enjoying this guest today. She is speaking the truth. I can identify with a lot of what she's saying, especially when I got divorced and I use the same tool. Okay, tool book. Yes, go tool bag. Thank you. I appreciate your feedback. Thank you very much. The Naked Truth by Annette's World Views. So much of what you said is resonating with folks. I see you, Auntie Faye. Also pray covering and blessing for your future spouse and future mates, okay? As well as your future offspring if you're parenting. So the prayer is going deep into the future.
Yes.
Trying to make sure, because someone texted me. I hope she's watching. I hope I'm not offended, but she and I had never had no real long conversation about me finding a mate. And she texts me out of the blue, friend, lady lawyer. She texts me, hey, are you busy? So I was with someone at the time. So I said, hey, I can text. What's going on? She was like, are you praying for your husband in like the present tense as if he's already here, or are you just praying in general? Now, I had not had no deep conversation with this woman ever about this. I was like, this is kind of deep for, I think, where we are, sis. But I know people feel very vested and they care. So I was kind of like, I don't know how I should respond to this because I don't really have the capacity right now to go this deep with you, sis, right this minute, because I'm in the middle of something. But I just told her, yes, hon, I'm praying. Are you a believer in this as far as praying as if the person is already there?
So I definitely, when I started praying for my husband, I didn't meet him yet. I didn't, I was praying that, God, I hope that he has a good day today, not knowing who he was. God, I hope that, because the Bible says when a man findeth a wife, I hope, God, that he sees me. I hope we don't cross paths and I miss him because I'm distracted over here or I'm entertaining that person. So I would pray that he has an amazing day without even knowing who he was. So, and that to me, it helped out a lot because that means in my mind, I know that he exists, right? We just have not met yet. And that helped me with believing that I could be a wife. Because I'm praying as though he is there. We just haven't met yet.
Child, y'all in the metaphysical. Okay, we're getting ready. We're getting ready. Thank you. You just like I said, even before I had asked you to come on, you had already come in my mind from probably the end of December. Yeah. And I remember that conversation that we were having about you coming out of a relationship, having kids, wanting a husband, not knowing anybody would come in and accept this responsibility, honestly, and go through and be such a wonderful blessing to your life, but yet and still here you are. So there's so much nuggets, and y'all, I love the conversation going on with Coach Chanell Fair. Thank you, RM, for dropping her book, her website. Remember, she helps people to become published authors, right? Eliminating that or shortening that learning curve and eliminating pitfalls so that you can get right to where you want to, and as well as coaching you out of your fear, out of what is holding you back, which all of us deal with when it comes to, stepping into new territory. So, Coach, I'm gonna end this on, and I'm probably gonna stay on for a little bit. I have to get ready for Uncle Stu at 7, but I know you're gonna have to hop off. Duty's call. But talk and leave us with some good word when it comes to the self-care piece, because I think many of us, like I said, we are in a time where people are realizing we are experiencing, and I read a great article about this yesterday. The pandemic has been a national or universal trauma, and we're not really treating it as such. We're saying how a couple people get impacted in certain ways, and yeah, you might have mental health issues as a result of it, but that's just you. But literally, it is a society-wide a global trauma. So as you're going forth with your 2022 and you're realizing that, you need balance. Yes, you need self-care. Life is going to throw you curveballs to which we must readjust. Tell us where your focus, your motto, your mantra, whatever you want to call it, is for helping you to move forward and stay in balance and making sure that you fill your cup.
So my focus at this point in 2022 is loving me more and loving my journey, loving where I am, and taking the time, again, talking about that prayer closet, spending time with God. I got a new journal, and I love buying journals because it's exciting, and journaling and just writing and just knowing where I am and being okay with where I am, and stepping away from social media at times, right? Because everybody puts up the superficial life that they want to live. That's not the real deal that goes on, right? And just focusing on where you want to be and who you are, and spending time with you. Like, hey, you have to like you first before other people can like you, right? So get to know you. What are some things you like, what you don't like? And for the wives that's out there, still know your purpose. It's not all wrapped up in just your husband. God gave you a destiny before you even married him. So just enjoying the journey. And husbands, same thing, right? Just love on you and have fun with you and focus on you. It's okay. It's okay to go get a massage. It's okay to take a walk and clear your mind and write and read and whatever you need to do to help you get to where you need to be. And also getting a mentor. Get someone that can, where they are, that's where you desire to be. And just learn from them. Again, Suzette, get a wife, girl. Come hang out with me, girl. I'm ready. Get you ready, honey.
You know what? You're not the first person who's like, you need to hang out with some wives. Stop the
I'm telling you.
Stop the BS with this foolishness. I'm still going to try to have my brunch number. They laugh and talk about what you talk about you wanted me to do, and now you want to have a brunch and it's ladies only. I'm like, that's what I'm used to. I'm going over to look at the place on Friday, so y'all gonna be mad.
We need to do a networking event. We need to get some.
So maybe we do need to do a networking for guys and gals. I think that's next. Yeah. But I'm still gonna have my little brunch with my ladies.
Right. Let me know. I invite my husband. We'll come out. We'll talk.
We're gonna have some mimosas and stuff. That's what I'm looking for. So hopefully this place allows me to do it outside, and that's my big thing. I just don't want to do anything, and I'm not ready to be inside yet, especially if we're eating. Right. So it's taking me a while to find a nice enough space where we could be outside together and not be an arm and a leg. So I think I'm going to look at a place Friday at 11. So I'm hoping that will be the place and I can actually set the date. Now I'll move it back, guys. I said January, February, but I'm probably going to move it to March because obviously it's kind of getting close, and I'll probably make it a theme around Women's History Month or something like this. But we're going to do networking. We're going to do networking too. I got to get off of that. It's hard. It's a whole habit to break, but I have to do networking. If I want to meet other people of the opposite sex, we're going to open up spaces where they can also come.
You got to be seen. Yeah. How are they going to see you?
That's what like you said, he find it. So he got to be able to find it. Hello, someone. I'm with you, sis. I'm trying to drop these habits where I'm so used to thinking one way. Yeah. Simon says, get that massage. Wonderful said, what? You was tripping? You talking about you didn't realize the volume was off just looking at the start over. It happens to the best of us. Sometimes we are on these platforms. I did drop the link. I know you only have a couple minutes left. I did drop the link, guys. If you want to come up, and even if Coach has to come off in the next 15 minutes, I really wanted to allow you some time for feedback, guys. I dropped the link. I'm going to be on Uncle Stu, the old man on the block at 7. So I'm going to leave myself a few minutes to grab a quick bite. But Coach Chanell Fair is an incredible resource, guys, especially when it comes, as she just spoke about, mentoring and book writing, right? And I think some of us, when it comes to writing, if you do want to publish a book and you have that writer's block, you got to start with journaling. That's another nugget I'm picking up here. She's like listening to music and writing on the page, listening to music, and even if you're typing, listening to music, getting, you know, divinely inspired, and then writing. So oftentimes when we are writer's block, or we feel sensitive about a topic that we don't want to, you know, kind of confront in our writing, there's a lot of ways that you can get around that. So I'm going to call, if the last call, if anybody wants to come up, the link has been dropped. I'm just grateful for your time, my lady. Thank you for coming full circle with me. My opening, I think you were like the first, or maybe one of the first interviews I did for my Facebook Live, when I was extremely excited, and only on Facebook, when I should have been on YouTube from back then. But okay, you don't know until you don't know. Until you know. You don't know what you don't know until you know. But I was literally like, I should have been doing YouTube for the last 4 years and not just Facebook. What about that? But what I will say is it gave me so much good practice. So I'm much more confident and comfortable. This is just a little bit more interactive. Than with the Facebook Live. We weren't really talking back to people, but this is like, okay, you're responding to people in the moment. But I'm grateful for Coach Chanell Fair. If anybody wants to come up, come on up. Last call. I'm going to be over on Uncle Stu's channel right now. No, 7 o'clock. Uncle Stu, the old man on the block, has invited me over. I'm going to be talking to him. I'm hopefully going to be collabing with the kosher clinician very soon. Wealth engineering, I would love for you. And I think we're going to set a date in February for you to be one of my special guests on the Patreon. Patreon just got the behind the scenes look at my speech from the Beyond Woman Conference. And I'm also, again, when I do a couple of outings, I'm going to see if I can bring myself to go a little live. I like this setting, but to go live and like while I'm out at places, I don't know. We'll see. But y'all say you want a little bit of behind the scenes, so I'm gonna see what I could do on that. Thank you to my show sponsors. Appreciate all of you. Mr. Real Estate, Real Deal Spencer, Uncle Stu, the old man on the block, and Chemo C. I think the sponsor is Mr. Real Estate. Big up yourself, Mr. Real Estate, with those extra $5 of chatting to let us know your point. Y'all visit Mr. Real Estate's channel. Big up Uncle Stu. You see his name there, the old man on the block. I'll be over in just under an hour over on his channel. But again, to Miss Chanell Fair, my lady, it has always been a pleasure. Y'all know Patreon, always, I just talked about it, Patreon with the exclusive look, more conversations, but kind of like more in-depth and private. So for exclusive content, you guys can visit me on Patreon. Chanell Fair, y'all. Visit her website. Thank you, RM. You see her there with that beautiful smile. Appreciate you, sis. I'm going to drop you down. Thank you for being here, darling. It is a pleasure. Oh, we got one guest. Can you stay or you want to go? I know you got to go. If you have to go, it's okay.
Okay. What? They have a question?
Let's go. Here we go.
Yes. Is it?
What's up?
Can you hear me? Is it a bad connection?
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Is it a bad connection?
No, it's a little rough, but go ahead and make your comment real quick because she has to go. Comment or question?
My question would be, did you find it to be true that once we put the work in and we go through things and we come out a champion, that we all have a nature we need to be aware of, maybe we still have to be on our toes about, in terms of attracting certain things and places and people, situations that we've learned is not our best interest? If that makes sense.
Okay, your connection is a little bit bad, so I'm gonna try to translate. So you said if you go through something difficult and come out a champion, you have to be careful. I'm not sure I follow the second half. You have to be careful of attracting things that are negative, or tell me about the attracting part. You have to be careful of
exactly to not be pulled back into what we know not to be our best interest.
Okay, to be pulled back into what we got out of and came through. Okay, I'm gonna drop you down just because your connection is kind of rough. But we got the question. Chanell, can you respond to that for us? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think that when you create your routine and you understand your self-worth, that would eliminate you wanting to go back, right? And there might be times that you might go back, but you have to love yourself enough to say, okay, I deserve better. I deserve more than this. Why am I here? Why am I entertaining these same type of individuals, right? But you have to make that decision to say, I'm no longer going to do this. because I want a different result. Remember, the definition of being insane is doing the same thing, expecting a different result. So if you're going back to the same individuals or the same type of individuals, you know your outcome is not going to be good. So why put yourself in that situation?
And
That goes back to your self-worth. That goes back to
Mhm.
your self-love and loving you enough to say, I deserve better than this. I'm not going to put myself in this or have to deal with that anymore, you know?
And again, Simon Hectic, what y'all do up here, bro? UK in the building, walk one real quick because she's out of time. But unmute yourself. But what she's saying, I agree with. The healing hasn't taken place fully. You have seemingly maybe physically removed yourself. You may even have like distanced yourself and gone through and hit a mountaintop or two. But the full healing has not taken place. If you're going back, help us all, God. Right? There are parts of you that is still not in touch with the divine. There are parts of you that is still kind of broken. So we got to really, really be careful to uncover some of that and do some of that work if we're going back, right? Simon Hectic, how are you? Unmute yourself when you're ready. Can I unmute you? You have to unmute yourself. Wagwan.
How you doing?
Long time no see, my UK brother in the building. How are you?
Been busy, bro.
Yes. Let the people see your face. Let the people see your face.
Don't do that.
How's it going over there in the UK?
Man, it's dropping a dime. Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool. I think things are getting better. I mean, I say that optimistically, but yeah, I think things are getting better. And I really loved your conversation today, especially with Coach. You know, she's I'd really like to chime in with her and like, you know, not just the females, but help me write a book, man.
Yeah, no, I said women, but she's for everybody.
You know, we all got a story to tell. The topic about sabotaging and like self-care. I mean, is that what intrigued me was I guess because I'm an elder to some and not to most, but it's it's like when does that kick in? Like in terms of like, do you think that's an age thing? Like where you sort of go, now I've got to start thinking about self-care because my bones are you know, might be aching a bit, or is it something that's something else?
So I think the self-care, if you want to be technical, as a child, we have a tendency to do more for ourselves then. Then when we get a little older, we kind of revert back to stepping into fear, right? And then after that, when you get even older than that, then you start thinking like, okay, now I can start focusing on me. I don't want to necessarily put like an age on it that now, you know, bones are aching. Now I need to focus on me. But it's really when you get to a place where you say enough is enough. So the age really doesn't matter. You can be 18 and think, okay, enough is enough. You know, you might have I mentor children, right? And sometimes when I hear their stories, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, you've been through so much. And you get to a place that you say, okay, I can be 16. You know, I don't want to be like my parents. I don't want to do this. I don't want to go this route. So there's not a set age. It's just when you tell yourself enough is enough. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be here anymore. Then you would no longer self-sabotage yourself. Then you would start making the steps or even trying to get with someone that can help you. You know, you will start to get that desire now that you want more out of life, that this is not it.
So it's a self-awareness. So I think once you start to develop the self-awareness, no matter the age, you start to say, wait a minute, I matter. It's not always about the other person, or I don't deserve this type of treatment. Help us all, God, because some of us do wake up and become aware later than others. Some people, it's amazing and intriguing how they have such deep self-awareness at a very young age. That's very rare. So as you said, I do think sometimes the maturity in life allows us more, you know, years to look back and say, wow, I should have been doing this. I could have done that. I didn't know about this. And yes, but it always, as Coach is saying, it doesn't necessarily correlate, because I know a lot of people in the dark and they in their 30s and the 40s and the 50s and they in the dark. And I'm like, whoa, to not be self-aware at that age is scary, but it's very real. So I agree with you. I think it comes with maturity, but not always. But it just comes when you have, you know, that self-awareness just kind of kicks in and it's like, enough is enough. I need to do this for me, or I love you, but I can't be this for you. I'm not here to be your healing. You got to have to work on yourself. That's and right. Then come back if you're ready. Not talking about anybody specific, right? But
I can't be your healing. That's the quote of the day.
It's like sometimes people want you to really fix them. It's okay if you're trying, but a lot of people are dealing in hurt and are trying to, because you are light, come with their heaviness. So we're not gonna. This is 2022. It's time out for that. We
That's
want to
right.
help where we can, but we're not going to be foolish about it, and we're not going to be self-sacrificing or self-sabotaging about it. That's the thing I wanted you guys to take away here. If it does not serve you, you can't put yourself out there and honestly put yourself in danger, because when we get to that empty place, it is literally, it sometimes can take you out. So you don't want to sacrifice in that way, and we got to put ourselves first. If you're already doing it, great. If you haven't figured it out yet, I hope this show helps you in starting to think, wait a minute, I'm gonna have to really think about how happy I am. Where is my joy coming from? How much time have I spent on something I would like to do? And how can I reconnect to what makes me happy? That's very important. So I appreciate you, Simon. I see
Thank
my
you.
guest peeking all over her shoulder. The family is calling you. Big up yourself from the UK, my brother Simon Hectic. Good to see
Perfect.
you. Long
Thank you.
time
Thank
in a
you.
see you. Good to see
Right.
you. All right. Nice to see you, sir. Big up the UK massive and everybody watching over there. I appreciate y'all. All right. Coach gotta go. Love you, Coach. Thanks for being here. Big up yourself, Coach Chanell Fair. We appreciate you. You're welcome back every time. All right. Love
Thank
you, sis.
you.
All right. Take care. All right, my sister has got to go. She over there getting called on by the little one. She's like, I really got to go. But I hope you guys enjoyed this look at sabotaging your own self-care, right? There were so many extras in it anyway. So I hope you enjoyed this program. I'm going over to Uncle Stu, the old man on the block. Thank you to my new moderators. Thank you to everybody for watching. I have really enjoyed this conversation. You see her name there. Her IG is BY, believe in your book, believe in BIYB publishing. So if you go to my Instagram, I have added her both as Chanell Fair and her company. So go to my Instagram. Again, on your way out, hit the like and come on over. I'm going to be with Uncle Stu, the old man on the block. Appreciate y'all showing love with the super chats. Appreciate y'all. If you want to give, thank you very much. This is the Cash App. Appreciate all the support of this type of content on YouTube. Big up all yourselves for being just involved in the conversation, whether you're watching on YouTube or if you're watching on Facebook. Appreciate y'all. Big up to my show sponsor, one and only Mr. Real Estate. Go over and support him on YouTube. Please subscribe. He's brand new to the YouTube game and we want to see him grow. Big up Real Deal Spencer, Uncle Stu, the old man on the block, and of course, Mr. Kimo C for being today's show sponsors. Thank you very, very much. Y'all hit the like button, like I said, on the way out. Last announcement, Patreon is cooking. If you want more content like this that allows you to do some introspective searching and hopefully getting rid of what doesn't serve you and also emphasizing more of what does, come on through. Patreon is here for you. Exclusive content. I'm going to do a little bit of BTS of events as I'm doing them, so you guys get that exclusive access over there. But I appreciate each and every one of my Patreon members. Don't join now. It's the end of the month. Join after February 1st so you don't get billed twice. So if you are thinking about it, and many of you have told me, Sue, I'm coming, it's all good. Come on February 1st. And actually, I may go live. I don't know yet at an event February 1st. So some behind the scenes stuff, as well as good deep conversations and special guests. I appreciate all my Patreon members for supporting my content. Thank you so very much. All right, guys, come see me on Uncle Stu. Let me say my, I know I love a long goodbye. I love a very, very, very long goodbye. Seattle Black Veteran, good to see you. No, it's okay. Have a great day, Abigail. Thank you for coming up, Auntie Fefe. Appreciate you. Thank you, Simon Hectic, for coming up. You made my day. UK massive. Anybody watching from overseas, I have my audience. I can see it on YouTube. Is 80% US based and 20% everywhere else, including South Africa, UK, Canada, Dominica, Jamaica. I can't name off every place. I'm gonna miss places. But thank you to everyone watching overseas. Big up yourself if you're watching the replay. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching and supporting the message over here. I appreciate each and every one of you. 9 inches. What a name. I'm not going to be able to read it, but thank you very much for being here. David, nice to see you. Thank you so much for coming through. Hit the comments. Just let me know if you enjoyed the show. Okay. Wow. We got a lot of Interesting comments there from this user. Jeez Louise. Okay, but appreciate each and every one of you. Chemo, yes, thank you. Super chat question. I didn't see you. You had another one? You had another one? I'm sorry. Hopefully you had another show with Coach Chanell. Okay. I'm sorry. I thought I did. I'm so sorry. Oh, the comparison. I think she was kind of saying what I think are you referring to the super chat question about whether she looks at her old journals and compares? I think she did answer that. If that's not what you're talking about, let me go back. I'm sorry if I missed it. I apologize. Trinidad's supposed to be there. Thank you, David. Appreciate you. Thank you, Simon, so much for coming up. Made my day. Oh, this one, I think she answered this. If you go back, and I think she's answered it in her own way, but I do think she answered this question. I appreciate you, Chemo. I hope it was what you were looking for. But thank you very, very, very much to all y'all that watched on Facebook, on YouTube. Final call, hit that like button before you are out of here. Thank you very much. Yes, I think she answered this. In her own way. Oh, no. I didn't see this one. Oh, sorry. I can ask her for her directly and send it to you on Patreon. I'm sorry. I did not see this. I can ask her this directly and send it to you on Patreon. Melville, sorry. I missed this one. Sorry. How do I copy it? I'm going to find a way to copy this. Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. I missed this, Chemo. Sorry. Okay, so I'm gonna have her answer this. I apologize. Sorry about that. But yes, I will get with her offline and see. So you used to write poetry, but is it true that it is easier to walk on hot coals than to get published? I don't think that's true, but I don't know. She's the expert. So I will DM her now, or text her now, and get you an answer on Patreon. My apologies, friend. Thank you for doing that. Awesome, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed the show. I'm gonna be out. Let me go grab a quick bite to eat. Head over to Uncle Stu, the old man on the block. Thank you. Sorry. You took notes? I'm glad you found it helpful. All right, y'all. For real. Thank you, Sun Breeze on the jaw. Appreciate you, sis. Shout out to everyone. I hope you go follow Chanell Fair over on Instagram and support her. And even hire her if you guys are thinking about writing a book. She'd be awesome. All right. So appreciate you guys. Let me get replenish. Hit the like button. Thank you so much. Again, to all my show sponsors, thank you very, very much to all my Patreon members. And if you want to support with the Cash App, you know what to do. Hit the like button. Big up yourselves. I'll see you guys back in maybe 35 minutes. Okay. Bye now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Take care of yourselves.